Parallelism is defined as grammatical and structural similarity between sentences. An example is running, sitting, and crouching at the same time. Notice how these words were written in a parallel line, because parallelism. Parodies are literary works that make fun of an original. You see parodies all the time, like 50 Shades of Black instead of 50 Shades of Grey, or Nightlight instead of Twilight. How about Oops instead of UPS? Guess you're not getting your stuff delivered today. Pedantic is an adjective for something overly scholarly. It makes understanding a literary work much more difficult than it should be. For example, SAT vocab is pedantic and you have to learn words that you are sure to have a much simpler synonym. Like saying you have to enumerate your class notes for homework. What is that anyways? Pentameter is a voice written in 5-foot lines. No, not literally 5-foot lines, but rather a beat of 5. A specific type of pentameter is iambic pentameter, in which there are 5 strong and 5 weak beats, so you end up with something like this. I wish I didn't have to go to class. Count the beats, or rather count the syllables, if you're still grasping the concept. There's 10, right? That's iambic pentameter. Prosody is what makes poetry poetry. It's entirely different from everyday natural speech, which is what makes it seem so hard to grasp poetry's rhythms and sounds. Prose is natural speech, how the everyday Joe speaks his words. In comparison, prosody gets all fancy by taking off an E and adds an oddity, becoming much more fancy, which is basically prosody's definition. Puns are plays on words and we hear them all the time. Like you're so punny instead of funny, or you've got to be kidding me right now instead of kidding. Or in this case, these puns right here are terrible. Get it? Rhetoric is the skill of utilizing written or spoken communication. In other words, how we can convince people using our words, how we make an argument. For example, it's how you convince your parents that you need your phone to stay up to speed with the world and for protection. But we know you just want to text your friends. Rhyme scheme is the pattern of rhyming a poem has. This is usually demonstrated through the use of A's and B's. A lines end with A lines, and B lines rhyme with B lines. A really simple example seen in many poems is an A-B, A-B, A-B pattern. Master and faster would rhyme on the first and third lines, while kill and chill would rhyme on the second and fourth lines. Semantics is the branch of linguistics and logic concerned with meaning and its changes with speech form and contextual meaning. So I could say, I totally believe you, and I totally believe you, and each has 2 totally different meanings. Just think of Justin Bieber's song, What Do You Mean? Shift is a speaker's change of feelings from beginning to end. Another word to describe shift is progression. For example, sometimes you are calm and rational, but become irrationally angry, aka Anakin Skywalker, becoming Darth Vader. The good-hearted Jedi first insists the Emperor must be tried for his crimes.
It's not the Jedi way. He must live!
But in the space of 10 minutes, devolves into a child-murdering maniac.
There are too many of them. What are we going to do?